Scotland and its textiles hold a uniquely powerful position in today's international fashion business. Quintessential Scottish products such as cashmere knitwear, such as tweed, such as tartan are very well known. But then there are also niche areas such as lace, leather, even linen that are revered around the world by the top buyers from top brands, interior designers, apparel designers. They all come to Scotland. What I want to know is why Scotland? Why does that three-word logo, made in Scotland, mean so much to top brands? Leather is another Scottish product with a world renown. Scotland is home to the UK's largest leather manufacturer, and it's also the most eco-friendly producer in Europe.
Leather is the ultimate recyclable material. It's a byproduct of the meat industry, and the good climate in Scotland, I feel, makes for some of the world's best hides. Our customers are from very varied markets. From the aviation side, some of our customers include BA, Emirates, Singapore Airlines. From the automotive side, our main customers include Volvo, Jaguar Land Rover and Aston Martin. If you fly first or business class with Emirates, they will pick you up from your house in a Volvo or a Jaguar or a Land Rover. You'll then be taken to the airport lounge before being taken on the shuttle buses, and then obviously onto the aircraft, and then once you get to the airport on the other side, you'll be picked up again to be taken to your final destination. That whole journey is you will be sitting on either Bridgel Weir or Andrew Muirhead leather, so Scottish Leather Group leather will be fitted in each one of those. We are Boeing and Airbus approved suppliers at Andrew Muirhead, so the quality of our standards are very high. We've been supplying leather to Volvo for over 20 years, and we've been supplying leather to BA and Emirates for over 10 years. In 2010, Scottish Leather Group developed and built a self-funded £6.1 million thermal energy plant. The thermal energy plant processes up to 30,000 tonnes of waste, which is then converted into fuel. As a result of the thermal energy plant and some of our other sustainability efforts, we have half the carbon footprint of any of our competitors. So we actually brand our leather low carbon leather, and that's a great selling point for our customers.
For 500 years, lace has been a luxury fabric, desirable for both clothing and for the home. In the 1870s, Nottingham lace looms were brought from the East Midlands to Ayrshire on the west coast of Scotland, and it's in Ayrshire that the Scottish lace industry still flourishes today.
There's nowhere else in the world that has Nottingham lace looms. They have tried, but the skills that are involved with the weaving and the technical knowledge that's needed is held here within the valley. The skills have been handed it down through generation, and you'll find that in the mill that it has been quite often through their fathers or grandfathers that they've been taught the skills and kept them here. We take on apprentices and we make sure that the skills are being carried on. We've supplied to Ralph Lauren Home for quite a number of years now, the CEO. I visited the mill and was so impressed that he sent all over his interior buyers, etc. There seems to be definitely a trend for lace dresses. They automatically thought of us straight away to make the lace for the lace dress that they were launching this spring-summer. Our lace is used in a lot of movies. Especially period dramas, etc. Puts them in the right frame, the right time scale to use our fabrics, because they've been, woven the same way for over 100 years. The looms are 120 years old, but we've managed to marry them with modern technology. To think that we can have modern computers networked to these 120-year-old lace looms is astonishing.
No discussion of Scottish textiles can be complete without mentioning that most iconic of Scottish cloths, Harris tweed, the only textile in the world that is defined and protected by an Act of Parliament. Loved and used by designers in the fields of fashion and interiors, Harris tweed is the only textile that is produced in commercial quantities by strictly controlled traditional methods. I visited Scottish designer Judy R. Clark to find out for myself what it's like to work with an iconic cloth like Harris tweed. Having started out her career with Alexander McQueen, Judy is one of Scotland's most up-and-coming designers. She is renowned for her innovative use of the fabric, and her creations grace catwalks across the globe. What I think is interesting about your work, Judy, is that you're using a lot of Harris tweed, which traditionally has had a masculine attitude about it. Do you think the attitudes to Harris tweed are changing?
I think so. Some people do have what I always call a more old-fashioned take on it, thinking it's a bit of an itchy, hard-to-wear fabric. But I think what they're doing now in producing the featherweight kind of tweeds is being able to give it that kind of softness that you can then mix with other textiles. I think that's the thing. I'd rarely make a jacket that's purely made of Harris tweed. It's always combined with really softer, more feminine elegance, like lace and pieces like that.
Judy, there's a fascinating list of top international houses come to Scotland looking for textiles. Why do you think they're coming all this way?
Scotland and its fabrics have its own unique handwriting. People want to be a part of that, and they want to take the fabrics back to their own design houses and be able to say to their own customers, this is our story, this is where the cloth was woven, this is where it's from, and you can even, sometimes you can trace the cloth back to each individual weaver. So for them, I think it's a really interesting part of their design journey as well.
As well as fashion and interior fabrics, Scotland is a world leader in the production of technical textiles. These advanced materials find their way into sectors as varied as marine, automotive, offshore gas and oil, agriculture, healthcare. The world's lightest bulletproof vest is made in Scotland. The most advanced carbon fibre spinning is done in Scotland. It's these advanced techniques that make Scotland a destination for companies from all over the world.
Technical textiles are all around us. They're in various walks of life. Some of the things that we do, as an example, would be backings for carpet underlays, or things as diverse as helmets for motorcycles and motor cars. Internationally, Scottish textiles have a great reputation. We do have almost an under-the-radar reputation for delivering a number of innovations across the board. And at Scott and Fife themselves, we've been selling to the Americas, to Australia and New Zealand for over 20 years now. And we don't really ask them what product they want, we ask them what problems they have. We'll blast them with 7 or 8 different samples, different options, and whatever the customer likes, we'll develop further, we'll fine tune it in order to get him exactly what he wants as quickly as possible.
Scottish interior fabrics have graced homes and iconic buildings all over the world. Renowned international interior designers and brands turn to Scotland because they know they'll find exquisite design and ultimate luxury here.
We consider our fabrics to be at the luxury end of the market. We're offering our fabrics in blends of wool, 100% wool, wool cashmere, wool silk, linens. What makes us luxury is that we offer a very fine design service, great flexibility of design. We had one just recently, a man who had a Ferrari in his garage, and he wanted to have a fabric design to put on the walls of his garage. And we designed 40 meters of fabric just to go on the walls of this garage to keep his Ferrari warm at night. That's luxury. Scotland is known for fine textiles. It's also been one of the finest countries in the world to buy your cashmere from. It's also one of the finest countries in the world to buy your hairy traditional tweeds from. We like to think also now people understand it's one of the finest places in the world to buy your interior textiles from. There's a feeling that around the world that the Scots and the Scottish ethics are good for business, and that's why I think they enjoy coming and buying from Scottish companies. Scotland is definitely a brand. The brand image is one of quality, one of heritage, and to that we also like to think that we also bring flexibility and high design. So we definitely make a lot of the fact that we manufacture and employ in Scotland, and Scotland is actually a very good place to distribute to the rest of the world from.
Scottish knitwear companies enjoy an unrivaled reputation worldwide. Such is the reputation that Chanel recently bought the Barry knitwear mill in Hawick to ensure the continuation of its supply of luxury knitwear. The finest raw materials, originality of design, and expert workmanship are the qualities that combine to make top brands such as Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, Yves Saint Laurent return to Scotland for their luxury knitwear, season in, season out.
People are looking for authentic manufacturing, ethical manufacturing with qualities, with luxury goods, and that's what Scotland can provide.
If you think about Scotland, you think about the great things about Scotland. So whether it's salmon fishing or smoked salmon or golf or whisky, it has a reputation of good, honest provenance.
Designers enjoy visiting us and using our product because we can offer speed of service. They'll send us across a swatch, maybe a clip out of a magazine. We'll match to that colour, we'll produce the yarn, and it'll be back with them in about a week.
We firstly start with the fibre. So we're using the finest of cashmere fibre, which originates in Inner Mongolia. And then it's what we do with the spun yarn. So we use a combination of three-dimensional knitting on the new technology, and then we've got the hand skills of the tailoring skills, really, which are kind of famed from this neck of the woods. We want to keep at the cutting edge because that gives us an advantage, allowing designers to bring to reality sketches that they draw.
So a combination of the best that has been for years, the latest technology, and the hand skills of the experienced staff are all going to this combination of making our products the luxury products they are, and that's what customers are looking for.
Think of Scottish fabrics, and one has to think of tartan. Across the world, there's a huge demand for authentic tartans, but also every season, in menswear and in women's wear, cutting-edge designers are taking the tartan designs and having them redesigned, reinvented, refreshed, distorted. And best of all, they know the only place to come for tartan is Scotland.
We like to think that Scotland is unique in manufacturing tartan. It is produced elsewhere, but for the aficionados, the people that want the real thing, they do know to come back to Scotland for that. Each mill will make their own unique tartan if that's their speciality. And we all have our own handwriting on particular designs and on the pattern scales that we'll work with and the qualities of fabric that we end up with. We work with designers right across the world. There's Ralph Lauren, Vivienne Westwood. We've done work with Burberry in the past, Dax, Jaeger, Nicole Farey, Charles Anastase, Clements Ribeiro. They're some of the younger brands. And some will use the tartan in quite traditional ways. So if you think about Ralph Lauren in America, they will use our tartans year in, year out, but they'll use it in a very classic way that suits their look. We have a very good Japanese client, Comme des Garçons, one of the best known design brands in the world and one of the most respected. And they use similar tartans, different designs, maybe different colours, but they will use them in a much more adventurous and perhaps outrageous manner. So we can the tartan does cover a lot of bases and a lot of requirements. When tartan's put on the catwalk or in some of the key collections, it does tend to bring a lot of press with it and generate a lot of interest. And you can see that that then spreads through other design brands and people sort of pick up on it and maybe use it in different ways and put their own handwriting on it. Customers do challenge you. And that is good. It's a two-way operation. Sometimes they push you in a direction that you would maybe not think about or even think, can we do that? That only comes when you've built a very good relationship with a customer and they have the confidence in you and appreciate that you will try to develop things with and for them.
Scottish textiles possess a rare combination of qualities. There's the authenticity and the heritage. There's the luxury. There's the integrity. This is achieved by the passion of the people that work in the industry, married with the state-of-the-art production facilities that have been introduced to ensure that Scotland remains competitive in a very demanding world environment. These elements will ensure that Scotland's international reputation for excellence in fashion, in interiors and in technical textiles will continue for many, many decades to come.